Lost River Cave. As you can see, there's boat tours, butterfly habitat, and nature trails. It's a very pretty place. You ready for a boat tour of a cave? Really? In 1986, recognizing the geological, archaeological, and historical significance of the Lost River Cave, property owners donated the property to Western Kentucky University to preserve the site as an educational and cultural resource for the citizens of Kentucky. Walking along the bridge, headed to the boat tour through the cave. I think it's going to be a fun day. It's so pretty and peaceful around here. Blue hole. This blue hole and 3 others exposed in the valley are the only groundwater windows in the 85 square mile Lost River karst drainage basin for over a century. This blue hole has been thought to be bottomless. Now this particular blue hole has some really interesting legends come out of it over the years, starting back about the time of the Civil War, when it became known as a man-eating bottomless pit. An engineer down in Nashville saw one of these stories and decided to come up here and prove that you cannot have a bottomless pit full of water. He used a method called sounding, where you take a rock, you tie a rope to it, and you chuck it in, and he got a depth of 437 feet. Right here is the blue hole. Just to give you a little perspective, this big sycamore tree right here is about 110 feet, so that's 4 of those stacked on top of each other and down. From that, we became known as the shortest, deepest river in the world, a title which we proudly hung on to for about the next 100 years, until the 1980s when Western Kentucky University got the property and ruined everything. They decided to remeasure the blue hole using a method called you stick a grad student in a rowboat with a really long stick, poked around a bit, and got an average depth of 16 to 18 feet, which is the actual depth of our blue hole. What they also discovered is, how do you get from 437 to 16 feet in only 100 years? The answer is we actually have 2 rivers here. So there's the one you can see behind us, but there's a second one about 8 feet down beneath us that follows along parallel to the first one. When they threw that rock in the late 1800s, they got caught in a very heavy current associated with the second river, pulled all the way down into the cave, measuring the length instead of the depth.
I've been getting out of bed these past few days. Think it's fair to be proud about it. I've quit ordering from all those fast food chains. I'm feeling better, there's no doubt about it. And my days are brighter, my shoulders are so much lighter. Just for me.
They sold the property to a family by the name of Perkins. They decided to turn this into the greatest tourist attraction here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. They started our cave tours. What they're most well known for was the underground nightclub you can still see across from us today. That was literally the coolest place in town to hang out in the 30s, 40s, and into the early 50s. Unfortunately, the way you got down here back then was not the beautiful paved road we all walked in on today. It was 150 stone carved and wooden stairs coming down the side of that cliff. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal, right? Well, shortly after our nightclub opened, it was wildly popular. So popular that it was taking all the business away from the other nightclubs. So the other nightclub owners got a little jealous, put some money together, passed it to the right person, and got a law passed that you could not serve alcohol below street level. Which is an oddly specific law, right? So they had to move the bar up to the top, which meant those stairs got a new name, the sobriety test. Strangely enough, people do not want to come down 150 really sketchy stairs into a dark, wet cave to listen to old people music when they can stay up top in the air conditioning and listen to whatever they want. Also, about that same time, the interstate came through town on the other side. That took all the traffic away from the road above our head, which was known as Dixie Highway at the time. That road traveled all the way from Michigan down to Florida, and it was the interstate before the interstate system. Now, most businesses just picked up and moved across I-65, but it's a little hard to move a cave. So in the 1960s, we shut down to the public. That began a dark time here at Lost River when we became the largest illegal landfill here in Warren County. We had bathtubs, refrigerators, car parts, and entire RV campers down here in the cave.
moment there, I thought that there was nothing more to life. I thought about it, wrote a couple songs about it. Just for a moment there, I lost.
Now the first thing that we all get to do together is go under this low-hanging rock. We call it the wishing rock, because if you don't duck, you're going to wish that you had. So everybody lean on down towards the center.
Yikes.
We're going in.
That's awesome.
With a hard head.
Your head's just barely under there.
I know, I can feel my hair.
She's watching me.
Yikes.
Myself, mind if I be real for a minute? It's almost like everything.
Now this is the first thing we're going to talk about. It's called a flow stone, because water flows over stone. Geologists are super creative. This peanut butter brown color right here, that's healthy flowstone. That's the color we like to see in our cave. And then this black flowstone right here is a pollution scar. Up here we have a cave dragon. And our cave dragon is overlooking the largest room in our cave system. We call this the breakdown room because a very long time ago, all the rocks that you see on the walls used to be part of the ceiling. In a massive breakdown event, they all collapsed, creating this large room. Now Bowling Green is one of the largest cities built entirely on caves.
I feel had a limit, it now gone past. Finding reasons to smile and to laugh, and whenever it's a bad day.
Has anyone felt a warm drip of water on their head yet? Those are back kisses. Those cave kisses are coming down from our stalactite formations that these guys up here look kind of like icicles hanging down. So who wants to see the largest stalactite in our cave? Right there. We call him the praying hands or the stuck diver, and he's 2.5 feet long. Isn't he magnificent?
About it, and my days are brighter, my shoulders are so much lighter. Just for a moment there, I thought that there was nothing more to life. I thought about it, wrote a couple songs about it. Just for a moment there, I lost myself. Mind if I be real for a minute? It's almost like everything I feel had a limit. It now gone past. Finding reasons to smile.
And one of the really cool things about Kentucky is that we used to be under a shallow ocean. That's actually what put all this rock down above us. So right here in the center of my light are a couple of horned coral fossils. Those are creatures that lived in that shallow sea back before dinosaurs roamed the earth. And then this is the part of the tour that I know you've all been waiting for. If you would like to, you can reach in and feel the water. Spoiler alert, it feels like water. Our water stays a balmy 48 to 53 degrees. Now because our water is so cold, I can tell you with absolute certainty that we have no piranhas and no alligators in here. I know you were super worried about that. What we do have are some really cool little fish about the size of your pinky finger. They've got no eyes and no skin coloration. They live way back in the darkest parts of the cave behind the dam. They'll spend 70 to 80 years of life in about a 1 square foot area, eating whatever the river brings them. Now those guys are called cavefish, and here in Kentucky we've got 2 species of cavefish, the southern cavefish and the northern cavefish. You can tell them apart by their accents, and ours are southern. We've also got crawdads, or cave crawdads, or crayfish down here. They look just like the little guys you go and catch in the creek that look like mini lobsters. Except for ours are white and have no eyeballs. We also sometimes see raccoons down in here. They come in to eat the crawdads. Don't see them as often as we see like their footprints or stuff, or my personal favorite where you see the 2 claw marks going straight down a rock. We also do get bats in here. So our most common species of bat is called a dingbat, and they wear blue shirts and drive boats. After that, we get big brown bat, little brown bat, tricolored bat, and the eastern red bat. The most, or the largest of those is called our big brown bat, and he's about the size of my fist. The smallest one is our tricolored bat, and he's about the size of a fluffy chicken nugget. One fluffy chicken nugget can eat over 1,000 mosquitoes every night, which really makes them man's best friend. We get those big floods, they're called 100-year floods.
Do you get rain that just builds up so fast that you get like a flash flood?
or is it over time?
We do get flash floods. However, we have sensors in the river that know when that water is starting to rise, and we can control it to some degree with the boards in the back. So with that being said, if we were in here on tour and my property manager were to come flying through here in the other boat, that would be a good sign to me that we should probably start making our way out. But we would have time to get everybody out of here in a fully adequate manner. We flooded out my first Labor Day, and I was one of the last tours in before it flooded. And I came out of the cave, it was dry when we came in.
I've been getting out of bed these past few days. Think it's fair to be proud about it. I've quit ordering from all those fast food.
Now, I do pride myself on customer service, so if you did not enjoy your tour, please stand up right now and tell me all about it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you all loved it.
All those fast food chains. I'm feeling better, there's no doubt about it. And my days are brighter, my shoulders are so much lighter. Just for a moment there, I thought that there was nothing more to life. I thought about it, wrote a couple songs about it. Just for a moment there, I lost my...
So we're now coming into the nightclub area.
So, mind if I be real for a minute? It's almost like everything I feel had a limit. It now gone past. Finding reasons to smile and to laugh, and whenever it's a bad day, music is my band-aid.
Is that a chimney up there?
That was part of those stairs.
Huh,
So the original entrance is that archway that you can just barely see through the trees now.
Uh-huh.
They would have come down to there as wooden stairs, I believe, and then down the side of the cliff as well.
Okay, very cool. And what was this building
That was the
used for?
hydroelectric dam
Okay,
for the nightclub. Powered all the lights.
very cool.
Yeah.
The opening of this unique nightclub was heralded in Billboard magazine in 1933. Many dances featuring big bands of the period were held here till about 1960. Collegiate, high school, and local social clubs held formal dances here, and many organizations had meetings and picnics in the cave and valley. The first wedding to be solemnized here was held in December of 1934. Jesse James. James and his infamous gang are believed to have hidden in the cave following their robbery at the Southern Deposit Bank of Russellville, Kentucky on March 18, 1868. A Bowling Green physician reported to his wife that he had been taken to the cave to treat a sick or injured man by none other than Jesse James in person. War camps. During the Civil War, Confederate and Union forces camped at or near the Lost River Cave Valley. It is estimated that up to 40,000 troops of the Union Army's 14th Corps were here before transferring to Nashville and then fighting in the Battle of Stone River. This is the Valley Trail. The Lost River Valley was formed by the collapse of a cave. As the limestone walls of the cave were dissolved and eroded by groundwater, the roof of the cave fell inward. Oh wow, check out that old tree stump.
Golly. Oh wow, and it goes up into a wide spot.
Pretty cool. Some old trees. Very nifty.
Very, very old. That's amazing.
Here the other day I turned off all the lights. Spent an hour with my memories, and then I realized it's not all black and white.
If we want to climb up through there, we could get back up on the trail.
We
Huh?
could. Is there a reason why you still have a mask on with nobody around?
Freedom. I can breathe.
Watch out for the rocks below. Now the vines are pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Like I was colorblind, but mentally, yeah. Now my days are brighter, just no longer feeling tighter.
Alright, check out the fur on this tree. Don't know if you can really see it, but this is like furry stuff. Along,
And it goes.
I'm sure that it's some kind of a vine. It's a dead vine. It looks like they chopped it off, but it left that furry stuff. It's a log that's been failed for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Nicely decaying.
Turn into petrified rock.
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Don't wear my PJs every day, cause I would rather be outside. I thought about it, wrote a couple songs about it. Just for a moment there, I lost myself. I've been getting out of bed these past few days. Think it's fair to be proud about it. I've quit ordering from all those fast food chains. I'm feeling better, there's no doubt about it. And my days are brighter, my shoulders are so much lighter. Just for a moment there, I thought that there was nothing more to life. I thought about it, wrote a couple songs about it. Just for a moment there, I lost myself. Mind if I be real for a minute? It's almost like everything I feel had a limit. It now gone past. Finding reasons to smile and to laugh, and whenever it's a bad day,